Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. Great to be with you. Hello and a fine Lawn Maintenance Tuesday to you and yours. Online, ESPNTallahassee.com. Miss anything? Go there to find it in the archived audio. You can stream it there as well. And oh, by the way, we'll post all 3 hours of the program to iTunes. In this case, you got 4 hours of content today. 2 of the JCS, 2 of Seminole Headlines. We're in the football swing, baby. On Twitter, it's at Cameron Show. WTSM app, good for your mobile devices. Hello, YouTubers and Periscopers. Hope this finds you doing well. Kendall Briles spoke to the assembled press today, and that was good. Game week is upon us, of course, and now we watch carefully a tropical storm, and still a lot of ways that could go. No announcement from the university today. I know there was a and this is normal procedure when you're out of town and you got a game, especially a game that's in the state of Florida, and there are going to be plenty of alumni and booster events. They're always cognizant of the fact that you got to monitor the weather in those situations, but also you have things you have to do as a university. The president goes and speaks. Coaches go to these kinds of things and try to hit up folks for money and specialty events, things like that, where you do a lot of shaking hands and kissing babies, and you got to know what's going on with the weather, what's going to happen with the game. And I know this morning woke up awfully early and had a lot of work to do right off the bat, but that's a good kind of feeling, right? When you have a lot of work to do and it's early and you got a lot on your mind because it's a game week. But it was also something you had on the background there. The latest of the weather window there, T. Lizzie, I know you monitor these things closely. You got a guy that's a friend of yours that graduated from Florida State's meteorology school, and he watches very closely, and we use him for gambling purposes a lot of times, but also when we need insight to something like this. I think at this point, obviously, it's a situation where we'll just keep monitoring, watching, making sure everything's okay.
Yeah, I do enjoy those 3-hour updates just to see what shifts, if any, have been made to the cone of uncertainty and what time the arrival of the winds are. That's my number one thing for me, is looking at the earliest reasonable time that winds could arrive in the Jacksonville area and then the most likely time that the winds could arrive in the Jacksonville area. And right now, it looks like just to the southeast of Jacksonville, about 8 o'clock, the time of kickoff, first quarter of the game. Mm-hmm. That's when tropical storm winds could be in the neighborhood. So
could be
by
if they
halftime,
don't break up first,
if they don't break up over Hispaniola. And yes, that my buddy Kevin, who I was messaging actually just as the show started, he went to FSU undergrad, then he did his meteorology up in Starkville, which has a pretty good program. And he said, I don't think it's going to break up over Hispaniola. It's probably going to be intact as a tropical storm and arriving maybe for some windy conditions on Saturday. He said, if it were me, I'd move it up to a noon kick and just be done with it. And that would probably save everything.
Err on the side of caution. By the way, Athletic Director David Coburn had this to say: "We are monitoring weather projections for the potential storm, as are the officials in Jacksonville, at Boise State, and at ESPN and the ACC." He provided that statement to the Idaho Statesman. It is too soon to make any decisions, but when they are made, the safety of the student athletes and the fans attending the game will, as always, be the top priority. Okay, so not a lot there. Basically, we're monitoring, as is everybody else right about now. I think you'll know a lot more by tomorrow night. And so we'll go from there. If there's any chance that you're going to be playing this thing in something greater than what you would describe as inclement weather, that is to say, somewhat untenable weather, where the travelers and the safety of the roadways and the people on it and those that are flying in. Jacksonville, that's a direct flight for a lot of people, and so there are going to be a lot of people attending this game, very excited to attend this game, flying in from Chicago, flying in from Houston, flying in from I got friends flying in from Miami. People flying in from all over because you can get a direct flight there. So it's land and go, man. You're at the airport, you jump in that Uber, you take it to the downtown area, and you have your fun. You get it on, you go to a game, you go back, you crash, you get up first thing in the morning, fly back to your cities. It's an easy place to get to, but they're all now watching very, very carefully. And you'd hate for people to have to fly into a situation, they got hotel reservations. You don't want to move this game. Now, that's on the extreme end. I don't think this game is in danger of moving or being canceled just yet. I think if anything were to happen, just a guess based on the conversations we've had and the people we've talked to about the logistics of it, trying to get stadiums prepared, understanding the travel arrangements and all of those things, this would maybe, just maybe, get moved instead of, meaning time, get moved instead of a 7 p.m. kickoff. Maybe you move it up a little bit, 3 o'clock, noon, 1 o'clock, something like that where you say, this is going to be problematic. But people flying into the game, most of them are going to be there by lunchtime.
Yeah.
You might be hurried, but at least you'll be hurried and see a game. It beats the hell out of being stuck and not seeing anything and moving the game or changing the date of the game. And they really can't because the bye weeks don't match up. So they're really in a situation here where maybe you could move it to Florida State, but it's highly unlikely.
I wouldn't think so, unless you're just going to have free parking and, you know what I mean? Like, redeem your ticket at the gate and you go sit wherever you want to, first come, first serve kind of a thing.
Yeah, because you got to figure that a lot of the people that have those hotel reservation and flights and all that stuff, a lot of them wouldn't even make it at that point. They just cancel. Some might do it and just hop in a rent-a-car and come over.
Yeah, and also the intensity of the storm has to matter here. I know we have to be very, very careful this time of season, but it's not a Category 3 or Category 4 we're talking about. We're talking about a potential tropical storm.
Yeah,
and these things can change, but given the information that we have now, it's supposed to be a tropical storm. And I can tell you that my buddy Kevin, again, just asking him in general, he said in his opinion they've been so quick for postponing or canceling these games unnecessarily, so I'm a little concerned about that. But he thinks it's probably going to be fine, just a little bit wet and windy. But if they want to move it up, they can eliminate a lot of the risk of those factors coming in on Saturday.
I can just picture it now. Look, every reasonable person out there, every fair-minded individual who's logical and, goes about their day, understanding that there are more important things in this world than sports and football and everything else, gets the fact that you got to be mindful of the people on the roadways, the people at the airports flying in, people that have spent a lot of money for these tickets and to book reservations and all that stuff. Got to be mindful of all of their safety over a football game. At the same time, I know it because I'm right there with you. We're all just so tired. It seems annual now that you have a situation where you, really? This is going to happen now? We're going to have a game canceled, or I'm going to have to cancel this trip, or I got to, really concern myself all week long. At the very least, stress levels rocket up as you go to bed each night thinking about the potential for cancellations or having to change schedules yet again. I get it. Safety is most important. But it's tough. It's tough because you really do have to err on that side. And so I understand why in the past maybe they've been a little too quick to pull the trigger on cancellations, deciding not to play a game. I mean, that seems to be an overriding sentiment amongst meteorologists who've commented about they're a little quick to cancel that game. I mean, these storms, we can monitor them up to the last second. But you got to get information out to so many people. You're talking about police departments, you're talking about travel agencies, you're talking about a lot of things.
Once again, if this was a mid to high intensity hurricane projection, then you would cancel the game probably by now already because you've got to worry about people evacuating. But if it's a tropical storm, that's a completely different animal. Is it good? No, of course it's not good. But you're not talking about mass evacuations the way you would for what we've experienced the last couple of years. And so the roadways aren't nearly as clogged as they normally would be. That's the whole point here.
The other side of it, again, the juvenile approach is really, again, can we just play a game, man, where I don't have to worry about weather affecting whether or not I'm seeing a finished product, whether or not I'm seeing something that is going to be indicative of what I'm watching in the weeks to come, whether or not I've got a real good handle on whether the offensive line is improved, whether or not Kendall Briles' offense is going to work with the personnel we have, how James do. I mean, if you're factoring in 35-mile-per-hour winds and a stiff rain, you're like, what is this? What is this?
That's why I think if this thing holds, the most likely scenario is probably just to move the kickoff time up. And again, it's not about where the center of the storm is. I've seen a lot of people say that. Well, it's not going to hit land until 2 in the morning or 8 in the morning. No, but it's about when the winds arrive. That's what we care about, right? Like if we're lining up a 35-yard field goal and those things are like tilted to the side.
You're not kicking a 35-yard field goal if we've got it tilted to the side. You're going to go for it. But
you know what I'm saying? I understand the point about where the eye of the tropical storm would be, but it's about when the winds get there because that's what screws with your travel arrangements, all that kind of stuff.
Well, let's just monitor. We will, of course, and update you on anything that Florida State has to say. I just read you the Coburn comments. As for Kendall Briles, he met with the press today and talked about the decision with James Blackman, what he thinks he has in both James and Alex Hornibrook, the week of practice, what his expectations are, what Boise brings to the table, and He sounds like a focused guy, as one would be. One would hope, certainly. I think it's interesting. You've just never got that ringing endorsement. I may be reading too much into it. I think it certainly reveals that it was a closely contested race there at quarterback, the competition, that is. It was a hotly contested contest, and I really didn't see that coming, and I really, people, I get a lot of emails about this saying, do you really think that's what it was, or are they trying to keep both guys engaged and create competition right up to the end? And there's an element of that, of course, but no, I tend to think it was a little bit closer competition than maybe they expected, or maybe than a lot of us would hope for. There's two ways to look at it. If Alex Hornibrook came in here and was able to quickly understand the offense and execute the offense, have more than a basic understanding, but a pretty in-depth understanding, making right decisions with the football, all of those physical tools that he's lacking. If he's making right decisions, at least you got a guy who will be a backup that is both experienced and comfortable within the offense, and that would be that's a plus. That's why you bring a guy like that in here. He's played a lot of games, and you would almost hope it's almost like having a career backup who's got a level of professionalism about him that you can trust for a game.
Yeah, he can get you through a week or two if you need to.
Yeah.
Willie was consistent in saying throughout the back end of camp into the decision and his press conference yesterday that they have two guys that they feel they can win with. And I think Kendall Briles went one step even better today if you're Alex Hornibrook, saying, I think we have two starting quarterbacks here. He did say that this morning, Kendall. I feel like we have two starting quarterbacks.
Two starting quarterbacks, yeah.
Yeah, so if that's not a vote of confidence for Hornibrook, I don't know what is. I think that's beyond just trying to keep him engaged. I think that tells you everything you need to know about how close the battle was and how comfortable they honestly feel if they need Alex in a pinch.
The idea that the offensive line has improved enough that we will not have to find out about Alex Hornibrook coming in because James is upright, making good decisions, distributing the football, and moving forward, right? That's where we're at.
I think that's a dream bigger than Walt Disney's. I hope it's true, though.
And I'll reiterate this, I tend to think they're going to play better than a lot of people believe is even possible based on the results of last year. I believe in Randy Clements. I really do. I like a lot of what I've heard from him in camp. I like the conversation he had when he met the press. I like that, first of all, you got new starters out there. I mean, it's not like it's the same five guys out there. Start with Bavion Johnson, who's been reborn. I'm not telling you he's an elite center, but I am telling you I think he has a chance to be better than what we've had.
Last year, this time he couldn't even snap the football.
That's correct. So he's coming off a long way. When you hear a lot of those guys referencing him as the unquestioned leader of the line, that's a good sign. I really enjoyed my conversation with him because it did lend insight into how far he's come emotionally, from a mature standpoint, and then understandably from what I hear physically. He's had a very good camp. You throw in there the fact that there's an outside possibility that Juwan Williams is an entirely different player than we've seen before. Okay. Certainly overcoming injury can bring back a lot of that strength that was missing a year ago. I want to see him play with confidence. He gets a real test this weekend. And then, from there, you bring in a freshman who's got a whole lot of nasty to him, who is also extremely strong for his age. And he's going to make mistakes, as the coaches have talked about, in Dante Lucas, but he's going to make them at full speed, and he's going to do so with a little what-for to him. I think you could start to see, and then you got a grad transfer that came in, and, all of a sudden you have the potential, anyhow, with the starting group to be worlds better. And when I say worlds better, it doesn't mean I'm calling them an elite offensive line, just worlds better from what we saw a year ago. And if you had seen just a level, a modicum, as I say, of progress throughout the course of last year, you would have won another game or two and gone to a bowl. To me, it's not just like that's a really low bar, but you would have.
Well, that's where we are as a program right now. We need to crawl out of. The O-line can help that to a large degree. To me, I agree that they're going to be improved. They're just going to turn some people loose every once in a while, too. I think we have to be fully prepared for that.
Yeah.
And, we're so used to DeAndre or James Blackman being sprawled out on the football field in a heap. I don't think we're going to see that as much this year for two reasons. One, they're going to be better. Two, Kendall's going to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands a little bit quicker. He's going to put a premium on it. But I don't think we're done seeing it yet either. So there is risk there, I do believe.
Well, there are going to be physical matchups that they can't win because they're not talented enough.
Yeah.
So some of it, even if you understand who you're blocking, which goes a long way, you still get whipped. The other guys are on scholarship too.
Also, do you think that might have something to do with it, that everybody is talking and coaching-wise in such grand fashion about Cam Akers, that maybe he's better at his protections as well? That seems to be something that offensive coaches absolutely need and love with running backs.
Yeah,
and the fact that there is not an or there, right, with Cam and Kalen.
Had a huge camp, man. Had a huge camp, and it went on in a way that in the beginning I kind of just rolled my eyes and assumed they were trying to get him back on track because he had such a tough year, a tough go of it last year. But as it went on, every time you asked a coach or any time you heard from them, they just lit up talking about Cam. So, yeah, you're probably right.
Well, Jimbo always brought that up about protections, and we knew it as
That's
a freshman.
Every play caller wants to know that he can trust his back to pick up.
Why Freeman was so special. When Devonta came here, he was able to pick up the blitz. He understood the protections, and that's why, as a freshman, he ran for as many yards as he did. I think we expected Wilder. Everybody expected Wilder to be a little bit more of that guy, and it turned out to be Devonta.
Jimbo liked to reward guys, too.
Yeah.
For hanging in there. I mean, because that's a tough task.
I don't know that it's been directly asked, but I think I do glean from the depth chart that maybe Cam is a little bit better in that regard too, and we need everybody we can get in protection. If you're asked to protect, you better do it, because you never know. You might have a guy coming free that wasn't supposed to be there that you need to clean up.
I'm almost beside myself. We've talked to ourselves in circles on this game. It is a perfect matchup. I would love for it to be in ideal conditions. Love for it to be, frankly, really uncomfortable and hot, just because of the advantage that would give Florida State. But I have to say, I just want to know, when we talk about progress, I think there's been progress, I want to know how much. I think it's a good matchup to gauge that, because Boise State can beat you. They're going to be well coached. They won 10 games a year ago. They're the best of the group of 5 teams. Currently UCF would argue that, obviously, but in terms of a decade's worth of successes, it is Boise State. They're a team that knows who they are. They ironically, for all the talk about explosive offenses, they run the ball very effectively. 5 starting offensive linemen come back, including 2 that are pro caliber on the left side. Yeah, they got 2 new running backs, but they got a receiver in Hightower that, if you're not on him, can beat you. He's explosive. He's electrifying. He's a good player. If you watch the highlight reel of that kid, he's another one of those guys that NFL scouts like an awful lot. So they have some of that talent that we talk about. The Curtis Weaver kid on defense, 20.5 sacks. A lot of guys that can test you. And yet, the depth of talent shouldn't be there, shouldn't be what Florida State has, certainly. And it probably means if you get decent play from both teams, we're in a dogfight in that second half. And this team needs that, and they need to fight through that, and they need to win it and get some confidence to find out you can win a game like that against a well-coached team that's going to come in here believing they can win, and then you move on from there. You get to 2-0 after your home opener, and let's see what we got on the road in the ACC opener against Virginia. Listen, you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself, but you can see the building blocks in play here if you go out and play well Saturday, and I'm so anxious to see it. It makes it very difficult to sit back and kind of talk about the what-ifs anymore.
Yeah, including the weather. But one footnote on the weather, I think the most important thing that David Coburn said in his statement is that ESPN and the ACC are involved in the talks. If the TV networks are involved in the talks, things can happen a lot quicker. And they've got to care about their people in the truck and their people that are working the game as well. It's not enough, I think, for just the universities to be involved in these discussions. The city of Jacksonville, he mentioned. But if ESPN and the ACC are involved in this talk, then that's good. Because if something needs to change, you could do it a lot quicker with them involved in the negotiations from the word go.
All right, you guys in the truck, Trevor, all you, let's go. Get your asses down there. There's a game to be played, and we're going to cover it. I'm not worried about your families or your well-being right now. There's a football game to be.
The trailer will hold, man. It'll hold. Don't you worry.
Oh, man. I'm kidding, everybody. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men in a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Man, it's definitely summer. And with the heat wave, it's hard to keep my cooling costs down.
Have you checked out the many products and services the City of Tallahassee Utilities offers to help you save energy, water, and money?
What kind of products and services?
Well, the city offers ceiling insulation grants, energy efficiency loans, free energy audits, budget billing, and energy retrofit grants, which can help enhance energy efficiency and lower your bill. And the Weather Relief Assistance Program, or WRAP, is also available right now, which also offers a one-time payment option that lets you defer a portion of your bill until October.
Wow, I had no idea. Where can I find out more?
Simple. Visit talgov.com/YOU.
The City of Tallahassee Utilities connects you to more than electricity. With a variety of options to choose from, you can find products and services that help you save energy, water, and money. More options, more products, more savings. Visit talgov.com/YOU or call 891-4968 to learn more.
Hendrick. We're celebrating the Hendrick Summer Sales Event all month long at the all-new Dale Earnhardt Jr. Chevrolet. Shop over 300 new Chevrolet cars, trucks, and SUVs right here on Tennessee Street, or find new roads at DaleJuniorChevy.com.
Thursdays are Friday Eve, and that's a reason to celebrate. No matter what you're looking for, they've got you covered every Thursday down in College Town. Centrale offers 50% off select pizzas all day, every Thursday. Or you can stop by Township for Taco Thursday. $2 house tacos, $2. Madison Social offers the social agreement. You and a buddy can split one order of wings, 2 Madso burgers, 2 bourbons, 2 proof Madison Socials, all for just $40. See what they did there? And don't worry about parking. Plenty of spaces available in the parking deck or surrounding lots. Check out all the Thursday College Town deals right now on ThursdaysInCollegetown.com.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can put him to the test.
You can't protect against everything life has in store, but you can sure try. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air, we help you protect your investment with regular maintenance options that can keep your system safe. Receive same-day service when you sign up for the Total Comfort Service Program at BaranoAC.com. Florida license number CAC 1816186.
Hi, this is Peter Bond, owner of Jerry's Cigar Shop. Jerry's has been a local favorite for cigar enthusiasts for the last 25 years. We have the largest walk-in humidors in town, filled to the brim with an amazing cigar selection. Relax in one of our leather chairs and enjoy an ice-cold beer or a glass of wine with your cigar. Jerry's is a great place to watch sports on our big flat-screen TVs and offers a comfortable setting for lively conversation. Visit our original store on Scherer Road or our new second location on Cary Forest Parkway. We hope to see you soon.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents Doug.
If I don't find the right car insurance for me, I might just give up.
Did someone just say, if I don't find the right car insurance for me, I might just give up? Ma'am, what if my partner, this wild emu, and I told you that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need?
I'd say sign me up for Liberty Mutual. And also, your emu is eating my tire.
Limu! No. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
Tallahassee, it's Chuck Oliver, the king of college football, and you can join me every weekday at 1 p.m. right here on Tallahassee Sports Monster. We talk nothing but college football every day from Tallahassee to Tuscaloosa, Athens to Auburn, and everywhere in between. That's the Chuck Oliver Show, weekdays at 1 p.m. on our new home in Tallahassee, 97.9 ESPN Radio, Tallahassee Sports Monster.
The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
What do you think of this quote? I find it interesting. I also think that most football coaches and players would agree with this, but I don't know that fans do. Kendall Briles today, quote, about the importance of the first game and their performance and all of that. Just win. Seriously, I do not care. If we have 250 yards on offense, score 7 points, and we win the football game, I'll celebrate just like everybody else. They don't ask how. They ask how many. We want to be 1-0. If we won 7-6, Tom, would you feel relieved? Would you feel pretty good about the way things are going and where we're headed? Or would you go, good to get a win?
Did he get that backwards? Is it they don't ask how many, they ask
No,
how?
They don't ask how. They ask how many. He means wins. It's like, how many did you win?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
How many did you lose? How many did you win?
Maybe referencing the yards or the points.
Yards or
ask
the points.
How many.
No, they just want to know how many games you won.
I think what he's setting the stage for is if the offense succeeds and they still lose, he's not going to be happy about it. Maybe he's protecting against that. I don't know.
I wonder. I mean, what would the fans? I mean, it's funny. He used that 7 points. If we scored 7 points and won, I'd be fine with that. I don't know. I mean, yeah, we'd all leave there a lot happier than if you lose 7-6. But boy, oh boy, after what we watched last year, a team that couldn't even average 22 points a game.
But would it be closer than it should be if, let's say,
now if it's a deluge, Tom, everything is thrown out the door.
Of course, but let's just say you win 7-6, or the other option is you lose 45-44, something like that. Would it be closer than it should be in terms of fan love-hate? By that, I mean, if we lose 45-44, I think a lot of people would walk out there going, well, they fixed the offense. That's nice. Glad to see Kendall Briles is getting it done.
Yeah,
at 7-6,
and Harlan would be immediately on the hot seat because you've got a gazillion players in that secondary that have to be better than that at this point. They've recruited exceptionally well when it comes to defensive backs and safeties. There's no reason to get lit up back there in the way that we did a year ago. Now, the offense didn't do them any favors last year with the field position that they inherited. In fact, it was one of the worst in all of college football. So they kind of get a pass. People have turned a jaundiced eye to Harlan Barnett and said, not overly in love with your efforts last year either, pal, but admittedly, our offense and special teams units did you in. So maybe you broke halfway through the season. Plus, we had some injuries. But if your offense goes out and scores 45 points and you give up 44, nah, man, we're 2 fingers to my eyes, 2 fingers back to you. We're going to be looking at that defense like, what are you doing, Harlan? I mean, what are you doing? Well, I'd say the switch to the 3-4 ain't working.
Well, I was comparing like if we lost 45-44.
No, but I mean, any scenario, they elicit a response. That would be the response to 45-44.
I think in a way, though, people would have, in a weird way, a little bit more hope in the 45-44.
Yeah, because you can score, and you can score a lot of points. But you remember my old mantra on this, if you can't stop anybody, you can lose to anybody.
Sure. But people would think ahead. They'd say, all right, well, he's gone, but we got this fixed, so what's next? Like 7-6. I think 7-6. No. Like a 7-6 win, people would be like, oh, there's no hope. We won this one. We're lucky.
Maybe, Tom. You might be right on this, but I'm telling you, man, if you say we got this fixed, Harlan's going to lose his job. You just gave up on the season. You just got done giving up again on another season. You're like, we got to wait till next year till we fix the defense. Holy hell!
Well, once again, I'm talking about fan overreactions, not necessarily the reactions of this show next Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, they better not give up 44 points or 45 points. I mean,
I think in a way, though, I'd feel a little bit more hopeless at 7-6. I'd be like, God, man. Because you know what happens if we score 7 and win? That means the offensive line is god-awful again.
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, here we are.
It's not going to be either
I
of those
know.
two schools.
We're both operating on the extrames here because,
thanks a lot, Kendall, for putting that number out there. Thanks,
he did.
pal.
It's a direct quote. I mean, I'm reading the quote. That's why I came up with it. I mean, that wasn't just haphazard. He said if we scored 7 points and won, I'd be happy. I'd celebrate like everybody else. It'd be a pretty subdued celebration, Kendall. That'd be here's to a win.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true either. I don't think that's accurate either. It beats losing. Winning always does. But I don't think there'd be any, all right, there we go, fellas. That's what I'm talking about. Way to go out there and believe in one another. Keep
ran
fighting.
82 plays for 250 yards. That's okay by me. We won.
We won. Got to clean it up in the red zone, guys. Got to clean it up. That's a toughie.
I mean, we did have 6 missed field goals, guys.
Yeah, okay, maybe. Like, we could do better. Got to punch a few of these in the end zone. Clearly can't rely on Slappy over here to kick a field goal.
Were you there on Saturday when the Miami kicker missed the 20-whatever yarder or the 30-yarder?
Mm-hmm.
That's my first call of the year. I was like, he's going to miss this. Something about this doesn't feel right. I don't like this camera
feel
angle.
good about it, huh?
And it was not even
close. Not even
close,
I know. Yeah, it's fun to watch other people suffer through the same sorts of things that at times we've suffered through. Yeah, it's great. Schadenfreude is real in football more than most sports. Like, they can't block either. That's the 10th sack.
Especially when you're not playing. Like, it's funny, if they kick off at noon, that game, and we play at 7, there would be Schadenfreude, but you go, okay.
All right.
Well, it's in the air. There's something in the air today. I don't like this, but.
You know, it's funny, the Miami kid at quarterback, Williams, he's getting beat up a little bit here, and, you know, it's funny, either people point to that offensive line and say, well, he got sacked 10 times. Yeah, he did, but my man, get rid of the football. I mean, those aren't all on that line. They got blown up. They weren't any good. Well, you can't get sacked 10 times.
He got killed by his OC.
Yeah, his OC rolled him, yeah.
His OC rolled him. Okay.
Actually, that tells me that they've got a mentally tough kid who can handle it. He's not going to come out and say that if he doesn't think he can handle it.
Probably not.
And the other thing I would tell you, I actually thought he made some nice throws in that game when he did have time. There's just, you know, he's not nearly as mobile as I thought maybe he would be. Because I understood he was a pocket passer. I understand he had a big arm, but they also said he could get out of trouble. I don't think he's getting out of trouble.
Yeah, he did not play well enough for us to win the football game, is what Dan Enos said. Okay.
You could argue the same's true of Felipe Franks. Somebody had to win the game.
3 times in the first 10 plays, Jeff Thomas was wide open, and we didn't get him the ball. Okay.
Tough love. We got tough love down there,
buddy. Tough love, Dan Enos.
Tough love, man. He's not having it.
Now, it depends on how that actually sounds. Does that sound like a tough love guy, or does it sound like Dirk Cutter? You know?
Well, it does depend on how it sounds. I'd have to see it and hear him say it. Tone
we got to hit the
there.
open receiver. You know?
I will say it's tough when you're starting a kid that, you know, that's his first start. That's just not an ideal situation. And by the way, Boise State has gone to a true freshman quarterback to start this game against Florida State. And you really have to hope that there are hiccups with this. I mean, I understand he was highly touted. I understand he got recruited to Tennessee and Vanderbilt and a few other SEC schools. Ole Miss, I think, looked at him as well. And according to some, he's the most highly touted quarterback prospect to ever sign with a Mountain West team. But it is his first ever start, and it's tough to replicate the speed from high school to college. Is very, very different. And Florida State does have some speed.
Yeah. Stop the run. Those 3 words, right? When you think true freshman quarterback making his first start.
Yeah. Make him make tough throws.
Ain't afraid to look it, girl.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Dak continues his holdout in search of a new contract. Time is of the essence for Elliott and the Cowboys if he's going to play in Week 1, notes ESPN's Dan Graziano.
If he doesn't report on the weekend by Monday morning, then they have to confront, the Cowboys do, Week 1 without Ezekiel Elliott, because they'll be game planning for the Giants starting next Monday and Tuesday, and he won't have been there. So if he doesn't want to miss a game check, he's got to be there by 4 p.m. Eastern time next Tuesday. Or else he misses his Week 1 game check.
Dallas has made an offer to Elliott that ranks between the $13.1 million average salary the Jets gave Le'Veon Bell and $14.3 million average salary Todd Gurley is getting from the Rams. Patriots center David Andrews has been released from the hospital after undergoing tests to pinpoint the cause of blood clots in his lungs. His 2019 season is in jeopardy. Andrews' leadership and steadiness has been critical for New England since he became a full-time starter 3 years ago. Baseball, Cubs first baseman Anthony Rizzo expected to miss his second straight game tonight against the Mets because of a back issue. Chicago's 1 game up on the Phillies and 2 on the Mets for the second NL wildcard spot.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram is the Jeep headquarters of America. We've purchased over 100 Jeep Renegades, and they've all arrived and are on the lot for immediate delivery. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude with MSRP starting at $25,120. On sale now for $18,870. That's a savings of $6,250. A new Jeep starting at only $18,870. Those prices are unheard of and can only be found at your Jeep headquarters of America, Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. No other dealer can offer you this kind of savings. We buy in mass quantities and pass along the savings to you. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude, starting at $18,870. Payments as low as $299 a month. On the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle, where we're right on the corner and always right on the price. Check us out on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. All prices include rebates and incentives plus tax, title, and dealer fee. State number 18J605. Must finance through Chrysler Capital and qualify for all rebates and incentives.
Your next haircut now has a shortcut. Introducing the Sport Clips Haircuts app. That's right, now the cut you want is just a tap away. Just download the app, check in at your neighborhood Sport Clips, and choose your Guy Smart stylist, and you're done. We'll text you when your stylist is almost ready. Then head to Sport Clips for a championship haircut experience. It's home field advantage for your hair. No appointment needed. Just download the Sport Clips app and check in. And don't forget a beard trim. Sport Clips. You choose the cut, we cut the weight.
Win an ultimate fan cave experience. Text Fan Cave to 66555 and enter to win a $1,500 prize giveaway from Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch beverage distributor Tri-Eagle Sales. Win a 50-inch flat screen TV, refrigerator for your ice-cold Bud Light, and more. Text Fan Cave to 66555 or visit TriEagleSales.com. Bud Light, famous among friends. Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly. A message from local beverage distributor Tri-Eagle Sales.
Cigars of Tally is your one-stop shop for everything cigars. With 2 convenient locations, Cigars of Tally is here to serve you. The 1401 Market Street location is right off I-10 and great for travelers and after-work stops. The Midtown location, Cigars of Tally Lounge and Bar at 926 North Monroe Street, is great for those winding down from a long day. With the largest humidor in town, affordable cigar lockers, a large covered patio, and private conference rooms, there's something for everyone to enjoy. Cigars of Tally, open 7 days a week. Need cigars? Get your ash in here.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents. And Doug.
If I don't find the right car insurance for me, I might just give up.
Did someone just say, if I don't find the right car insurance for me, I might just give up? Ma'am, what if my partner, this wild emu, and I told you that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need?
I'd say sign me up for Liberty Mutual. And also, your emu is eating my tire.
Limu! No. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
Come visit the new and exciting Hangar 38. This amazing place is for everyone listening right now. Practice your bowling skills, compete, and have fun. Whether you're a newbie, an all-star, or a beer frame champion, no matter how you roll, you'll find the best place to bowl is at Hangar 38. Hangar 38 is home to over 75 arcade games, so they're sure to have something for everyone. Zeppelin's at Hangar 38 is a premier full-service restaurant and sports bar, and it's also your place for birthday parties and company outings. Tallahassee, what are you waiting for? Come on out to Zeppelin's Hangar 38, 6668 Thomasville Road behind Walgreens.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Duke to cover.
Yeah, getting 35 against Bama. 36 maybe. I'll have to double check that line when we do Redemption Thursday. Well, Alabama covered the first half.
This is true.
I'm going to keep on keeping on with that one until they prove me wrong. But there's some guys out there this week. I'm so excited to finally be able to sit back and take a good long look at this thing and not just pick 3 bets for my Redemption Thursday wagers this week. Of course, last week I went undefeated. But let's first look here and note that there are some candidates, Tom. Got a big conference game coming up this weekend. Big-time conference football on the ACC network. Your Hulu Plus accounts will be burning up.
Oh, this is a coastal clash, right?
Virginia Tech at BC.
Oh, you're going the Atlantic direction.
Oh, there we go. Little V Tech at BC. Atlantic Coastal Clash. Atlantic Coastal Clash.
I was sitting fastball.
You were?
I waved and missed
you
the
thought
changeup.
Virginia Pitt was where I was going, and I understand why, because the winner could roll on to the Coastal Championship with Miami being out of the running, knowing that they can't block.
I think it is. I think it's the Coastal Championship game
on the
right
line,
here.
week one. Get it. Here it is. Defending Coastal champ Pitt trying to hold off the strongest contender in the division in Virginia. I've got some thinking to do. There are people secretly high on that Pitt team.
Well, Lee
is that
Sterling
just
was...
is that just a damning indictment of how bad the Coastal is yet again this year?
Yes. I think that's true.
What's your favorite game? I'll say this. I'm looking at you, Southern Cal. Don't be fooling around with Fresno State.
Oh, well, Clay Helton is the betting favorite. I think
you sent me the
might
topic
have some odds
du
on
jour
that.
there are some betting favorites. Clay Helton, the odds-on favorite to lose his job first amongst Power 5 coaches. I see it. I don't think a lot of people really wanted him back. Don't be fooling around with Fresno State. That's we get into the second half, and that's a game, and it might be. I think obviously the highlight is the early peak in the week here is the Oregon-Auburn game, but in a weird way, I just don't know how competitive that's going to be. Not a good start to the Pac-12 season, obviously, as Arizona goes on the road and loses to Hawaii in the first game of the year, despite being 11-point favorites.
The question I have about Auburn is, did they find their quarterback? I thought, 4 or 5 weeks ago, it sounded like they had a lot of options. And then it sounded like maybe towards the end of camp, we'll figure out who the best guy is. Not so sure. I've been following that one from afar, but they felt a lot better, say, in June about their quarterback situation than they did once the camp closed.
Well, they're favorites by a little over a field goal, depending on where you're going, where you're looking. That game is also at 7:30, unfortunately, for us. It is on simultaneous to our game. Of course, that venue is AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas, ABC carrying that game. Rematch of the BCS championship in 2010. That was a way too close for comfort 22-19 win by Cam Newton and the Tigers that year. Good thing they paid his dad to help build a church.
Yeah.
The Pac-12 needs a win at some point in one of these games. The perception of that league is that it's just butt-ass sorry, and it is. And they don't do anything to ever overcome that. Right off the bat, they lose to Hawaii, and you go, well, same old Pac-12.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that game back in the day, the championship game. Cam didn't play that well, did he? He threw a couple of poor picks. Michael Dyer was good in that game.
It was an ugly game. It was poorly played. Auburn was clearly the better team, but fooled around and made it interesting. Yeah. Oregon had a chance.
The same way the Ohio State-Oregon national championship game went until they finally shut the door towards the end at Ohio State.
Yeah, I honestly with you, this is going to be a fascinating game, if only because I think this Auburn offensive line is supposed to be arguably the best in the country, and I think they can beat up Oregon. And now, if I'm wrong on that, that's a good sign for everybody in the West. It's certainly a good sign that perhaps the Pac-12 is getting a little bit tougher. But do you see that happening? I don't think so.
It would be a bit of a stretch. But it's week one, though. That's the other thing. I mean, remember, we were all hyped up for Washington and Auburn last year in week 1. We thought that game was going to be amazing.
It's ugly. It was a game 1. It was your typical game 1, and Washington loses that game, red zone mistakes.
It had a good finish, but yeah, it was plagued by poor play. Washington did control that game from start to finish, but weird things happen. I mean, Miami could have won this game on Saturday, and I think we would have said, wow, this is like part 2 of that Al Golden win down at home that they played a couple of years ago, or actually, well, that's more like 4 or 5 years ago now. And you could believe Miami won situations and situations only. How do they walk away with a win? Week 1 does provide a few of those, though.
I got a question for you, though. I mean, it's funny. I don't know. Does anybody remember the last time they saw Oregon playing football? You remember what the score was? Remember the game? Yeah, they scored 6 points against Michigan State's defense, lest we forget. 6.
I just remember that Stanford game and how that thing turned on a dime.
It was a wild game, but I guess my point would be this. I don't believe that momentum carries over from year to year in your bowl game and all that other stuff. 37 yards rushing against Michigan State. Auburn's defense maybe akin to Michigan's.
Yeah.
I need to see a physicality from this offensive line to give them a chance.
This is a huge game for the Herbert family because a lot of film will be used one way or the other, fairly or unfairly, because it's against an Auburn defense, a big-time defense.
That kid's an athletic freak, though. You know what he's going to do in the combine. They could just as easily chalk this up to the fact that they don't have horses up front to protect him. I don't know. I mean, we're projecting an awful lot here, so that is the most intriguing game of the day. It's not a great opening week. Well, first full week of college football. There aren't a ton of marquee games. I mean,
no, Monday night is Notre Dame Louisville.
We'll watch it, but.
Will we?
Oh, I think so. It's college football. It's a Monday night. We will have been decompressing after a weekend worth of celebration after victory number 1 on the season.
Oh, well.
We'll ease back into it, see how improved is Louisville. Does Notre Dame pick up where they left off? Obviously, real good football team a year ago. I don't know. Yeah, you're going to – this early in the year, when you're starving for football, man, all of a sudden on a Monday night, you get off work, you go home, and you go okay, Notre Dame, Louisville. I'm watching. I'm doing it.
Well, it's Labor Day for most people. We will have a show, though. That's the plan right now.
That's the kind
weather permitting. Jeff, it's raining.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, we're definitely going to have a show because we got to react and talk about what we saw from Florida State. And I'll be happy to do that show. This is the time of the year. I mean, you're forming opinions right now. One way or the other, next week is going to be much more fun than this week. I love game week as much as the next guy. But when you can finally start talking about something that happened on the damn football field, something that's concrete and real.
So Friday night, Wisconsin, South Florida, the weird game down in Tampa. I saw a tweet earlier today that said that South Florida had sold 5,000 of its 10,000 allotment, or the students pick up, I think, 5,000 to 10,000 allotment. And
satellite campus.
Wisconsin had a 5,000 student ticket allotment, and 1,500 had been used.
Admittedly, this isn't the time of the year where if you're in Wisconsin that you want to flock to Florida. This is the time of year to stay in Wisconsin and enjoy the fact that it's not 98, humid, and oh, by the way, a storm rolling on through the state. I'm going to keep it here. It's all right. It is just USF.
Honestly, one of my favorite games this weekend is Thursday night. It's late. It's Utah-BYU. It's a 10-15 kick.
Many people picking Utah to make it to the college football playoff, that they have arguably the number 1 offensive line in the country. That is an amazing statement to make. They are a rugged team, one of the few in that conference, and if they come out of there and win 12 games, obviously start by winning this one, it's a distinct possibility because I think we know 2 teams. And then from there, it gets a little dicey.
No, it's truly interesting to me, too, because if they are a college football playoff pick at number 14 of the country preseason going out to an unranked BYU, they're only a 6-point favorite on the road. I find that interesting. So is BYU that tough, or does Vegas not believe in Utah? How does that work?
Well, it's a rivalry game, first of all.
I understand
that. It's a big-time rivalry game, Tom.
If you're going to be going to the college football playoff.
Come on now. Those Mormons are getting after it, buddy.
We went out to those Mormons, and I know it wasn't a rivalry game, but we...
beat that ass. Yes, we did.
If you're going to the playoff,
special.
You better win that game by 15, 20 points.
Week ones, man. We can't get crazy on week ones. You got to just win. Get your win and take it on down the road. Get your win and take it on down. I guarantee you, this is funny because, we're doing 2 hours of the JCS today, 2 hours of Seminole Headlines. Got together with the boys early this morning, did Seminole Headlines. almost every question we got had to do with how terrible Miami was, how terrible Florida was. How much better do you feel now that you watch these two terrible rivals go head-to-head? Hey, I'd love to soak that up and say I absolutely agree, but I don't, because it's game one. Those two teams are going to look a lot better by the time we play them. They're going to fix a lot of their problems. There's enough talent on those two teams to rectify that situation. Now, are either one a national championship contender? I don't think so. But are they a candidate to be much, much better than we saw? Yes, week one is about, in a weird way, like the NCAA tournament, survive in advance. Just get your win and go on. You want to see a lot of progress. You want to hear about all the things that happened in camp. You want to see that translate and all that. Truth is, man, weird things happen. They turn on the lights. You suffer some adversity. You overcome it. You find a way to win a football game, and then you fix your problems. Bobby Bowden used to talk about this all the time. Lots of coaches do. I think they're correct. The biggest improvements happen from week one to week two. Now you got something on film that you can correct, you can show. Obviously you get into film room and you say, look, guys, this is why this happened. If you continue down this path, we're going to lose football games. You also find out certain guys are a bad matchup, and you give them some help.
Certain guys are practice players, and certain are game day players.
So you're learning a lot, and plus you get the nerves out. So I can't, Utah should win the game, but if it ain't by 30, woo, you're feeling it. Here comes a wager from T. Lizzie on that Thursday. I got you. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Assistance to fix your damages? Are you feeling like your insurance company is not being fair? If your answer is yes to any of these questions, we can help. My name is Travis, owner of T-Spark Enterprises, and I'm asking you to give us a call today for your free consultation. Let my company guide you through the process to get your home back to normal.
Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
Man, it's definitely summer. And with the heat wave, it's hard to keep my cooling costs down.
Have you checked out the many products and services the City of Tallahassee Utilities offers to help you save energy, water, and money?
What kind of products and services?
Well, the city offers ceiling insulation grants, energy efficiency loans, free energy audits, budget billing, and energy retrofit grants, which can help enhance energy efficiency and lower your bill. And the Weather Relief Assistance Program, or WRAP, is also available right now, which also offers a one-time payment option that lets you defer a portion of your bill until October.
Wow, I had no idea. Where can I find out more?
Simple. Visit talgov.com/YOU.
The City of Tallahassee Utilities connects you to more than electricity. With a variety of options to choose from, you can find products and services that help you save energy, water, and money. More options, more products, more savings. Visit talgov.com/YOU or call 891-4968 to learn more.
Hardee's new 2-3 More breakfast menu is as easy as a walk in the park. $2 gets you a pair of cinnamon and raisin biscuits or a savory sausage biscuit. $3 gets you a tasty bacon, egg, and cheese on a made-from-scratch biscuit. And $4 gets you a hearty breakfast platter loaded with sausage and other breakfast classics. In fact, the new 2-3 More menu may even be simpler than a walk in the park. It's more like a walk in an airport, where they have those sidewalks that move for you. Pilots have it made. The new Hardee's 2-3 More menu. Offer available for a limited time during regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included.
AAA Tree Experts has been a Tallahassee staple for over 35 years. But did you know they now offer landscaping? AAA landscaping services include custom outdoor landscape, creative landscape design and architecture, hardscapes, waterscapes, retention walls, and French drains, irrigation and sodding, landscape and holiday lighting. Call them today for all your outdoor landscaping needs. 850-385-3319 or visit them online at AAATreeExperts.net. AAA Tree Experts and Landscaping.
Hendrick.
It's the Hendrick Summer Sales Event at Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC. Save big on over 200 new Buick and GMC cars, trucks, and SUVs. We are professional grade. DaleJr.BuickGMC.com.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he wants it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
If you go skydiving, make sure your parachute works. Eat your vegetables applies to adults, too. And I know it's a pain, but it's a good idea to floss every once in a while. These have been some live-long tips brought to you by the Florida Lottery. With the Week for Life scratch-offs, you can win up to $5,000 every week for the rest of your life. So you just have to live long and win on. The Florida Lottery. It's your ticket.
Claim it!
Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly.
Get what you want from Target today with same-day delivery. We bring it to your front door so you can do more of what you love. Want more nap time? We'll bring the diapers and wipes. Want more greatness for your game night? We'll bring the snacks and the cards. Want more time around the table? We'll bring that missing ingredient. And maybe some dessert too. You order, we shop, you keep doing your thing. Try Target same-day delivery. Shopped by Shipt. Restrictions may apply.
Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Right now, former Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski had to fight back tears today when describing his decision to retire from the NFL at the age of 29. Gronkowski said he wanted to be clear to his fans he needed to recover, was not in a good place, and football was bringing him down. Gronk's remarks came at an announcement in which he will be an advocate for players to be allowed to use CBD products for pain relief. He did leave the door open to possibly unretire, said physically he could play right now, but is not there mentally. 12 days to go before the Cowboys' regular season opener, and still no sign of Ezekiel Elliott. The star running back continues his holdout in search of a new contract. Time is of the essence for Elliott and the Cowboys if he's going to play in Week 1, notes ESPN's Dan Graziano.
If he doesn't report on the weekend by Monday morning, then they have to confront, the Cowboys do, Week 1 without Ezekiel Elliott, because they'll be game planning for the Giants starting next Monday and Tuesday, and he won't have been there. So if he doesn't want to miss a game check, he's got to be there by 4 p.m. Eastern time next Tuesday, or else he misses his Week 1 game check.
Dallas has made an offer to Elliott that ranks between the $13.1 million average salary the Jets gave Le'Veon Bell and $14.3 million average salary Todd Gurley is getting from the Rams. Patriots center David Andrews has been released from the hospital after undergoing tests to pinpoint the cause of blood clots in his lungs. His 2019 season is in jeopardy. Andrews' leadership and steadiness has been critical for New England since he became a full-time starter 3 years ago. Baseball, Cubs first baseman Anthony Rizzo expected to miss his second straight game tonight against the Mets because of a back issue. Chicago's 1 game up on the Phillies and 2 on the Mets for the second NL wildcard spot.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Hello. Good to be with you. I'm Jeff. That is Tom across the way. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. Don't miss anything. Sometimes you do. I understand that. We got all 3 hours. In this case, 4 hours of content, 2 hours of the JCS, 2 hours of Seminole headlines. All of that online, ESPNTallahassee.com and on iTunes. Thanks for all of you, to all of you for listening. Appreciate it. And you can email us, jcs@970.espnradio.com. On Twitter, it's @JCameronShow. YouTubers, Periscopers, I hope you guys are well. Good to have you along. And the WTSM app works as well. Intermittently, it works. Sometimes it doesn't for some people. It pretty much always works for me. It's just a little delayed. Well, hang in there with it. Give it a second. It's going to pop on. You'll be all right. Heard from Kendall Briles today. He's kind of subdued, like Willie, when he talks. I enjoy listening to him speak about the offense, about his players, about his expectations. You can tell he's locked in. He's very focused right now on this game, as one would be, given it's game week, and they need to have a good week of practice. You know, Tom, we've only had the opportunity, and that's all we can do, to speculate since the announcement that James Blackman was going to be the starting quarterback about how that race played out, the competition for quarterback and who would be the starter. And I think we all went into the camp thinking that this was a foregone conclusion. I have reason to believe that it didn't play out that way, that, in fact, Alex Hornibrook made it a legitimate contest. Nonetheless, I am excited for James Blackman because I think he's a young man who has patiently waited his turn. And for this team to now be led by him, I think is inspirational for a lot of guys in that locker room because they have great respect for who he is, the man that he is, the loyalty, the focus, the hard work, the dedication. But I also think he's limited. And to what degree, we'll find out. This is a new offense we'll be watching him perform in. I know what he was in the old offense. I know what he could do when given the opportunity. He seemed to shine brighter in games than he did in practices. And that's the hope here, that if it was a close competition with a quarterback that frankly didn't impress very many people who watched Wisconsin play when he was under center, you hope it was only close because Alex Hornibrook came in and did a good job of working hard, picked up the offense pretty quickly and made right decisions with the football, pushed James, but not because he's a guy that, from a talent standpoint, was able to equal James. That would be disturbing. I get it. I like that he's a smart kid. I like that he's a hard worker. I like that he's ingratiated himself nicely in that locker room. I like that he picked up the offense because there's a chance that he's going to have to play. But when you listen to Kendall today, Tom, it just kind of reaffirms my thought that was a closer battle than we anticipated, certainly more than I anticipated. I thought this was a competition in name only. Turns out it might have been a real competition.
If you're asking opinion, I'd tell you it almost sounds as though Alex may have won by the slightest of margins, but when you consider all factors, not just the throw-for-throw part of practice.
And you have to, because one has a greater upside.
One has a greater upside, one has a greater command, and one will get more, at least from what we know, what we've seen players playing around James. They play hard for him.
They do.
And that's really, really important. That's just my opinion. What is fact is that today Kendall Briles said he feels like he has two starting quarterbacks. He praised James. That's the first thing he did. But on the way out, he was more than intent on making a point that he believes he has two starting quarterbacks, that Alex is in a good place mentally, and Alex can do whatever is necessary to help contribute to the team.
I wonder, Tom, on that point, did he say that because he needs Alex Hornibrook to remain engaged and focused and ready to go? Because, again, you're talking about a team that comes into the season at the very least with offensive line questions. We think it'll be better, but how much better, we don't know. And certainly we haven't seen them go up against an elite pass rusher, and they will this weekend. They got a kid that they're going against who is probably the best in the Mountain West, certainly, and one of the best in the country, a guy that when you looked at his highlight reel, Curtis is a player that can, wow pro scouts to the tune of being a projected first-round pick. So obviously he can play. They're going to get that.
Yeah.
You just wonder if you've got offensive line questions and, you have a quarterback that is a guy that has held on to the ball for too long at times.
Yeah, is willing to take those hits.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. He's a really tough guy.
I mean, you could see a play, and nobody wants to see this because we've had enough chalk outlines at Florida State the last 3 seasons.
Tons of them.
It hasn't been a one-season deal. But you could see a circumstance where James trades a 30 or 40-yard pass for a hit, and Alex has to come in for a series. I think that's what Kendall sees here. They wear the green non-contact jerseys out of practice. That's not going to be the case on Saturday, obviously. So, I think at any point, even if the offensive line is improved, quarterback can take a hit. Hell, if Kendall wants to run him a little bit, that risk is there again. And maybe this is something in general where you have a bit of a luxury that we have not had in a little bit of time, where for, 2 or 3, let's say 2/3 of the last 3 seasons, you didn't want to run your quarterback because if he got hurt, you didn't like the alternative.
You were screwed, yeah.
But they really, Willie has said it too, they feel very comfortable with both players. So I think that allows you some more leeway if you're Kendall to call the game a little bit more aggressively and let James use his legs a little bit more. If he gets hit, so be it. It's okay. The risk is not, the drop-off is not there the way it has been the last 2 seasons or 3 seasons here.
Because it's a first game, I'm going to go ahead and say, safely so, I think, that you will see some sloppiness from both teams. This is what was on display, certainly in abundance between Miami and Florida. Hopefully it's not nearly that ugly and Pop Warner-esque. But, when you look at this game, I think you will see some mistakes by both teams early on. That's what first games provide. Tackling is often poor in the first game, all of that. There's an unsuredness to a lot of this, and then you get into a flow of a game. I say that to say this. I really feel a bit more emboldened by what I've heard from my sources and what we've heard from coaches and players in this camp about how the offense is going to play and how, most importantly, how the offensive line is going to play. I think they're going to be pretty good, Tom. I do. Now, when I say that, relative to expectations, relative to what they were a year ago, which was an unmitigated disaster, they'll be better. I'll just say that with certainty. They're going to be better. There are new players that are out there for starters. You got a brand new starting guard in Dante Lucas, who's got a little what for to him, a little nastiness to him. You got a new center in Bavion Johnson, who's got confidence now.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 guys. Brady Scott played right tackle, but now he's interior.
Right.
And you got a new right tackle. And,
yeah.
And hopefully you've got a brand new Juwan Williams, a guy who doesn't resemble the player that was there last year. So you might have, in a sense, maybe have a brand new 5 guys.
Yeah, well, it's one way. It's a pie in the sky way of looking at it. I certainly, I don't know.
Well, if he's below average, he's not even close to the player he was last year.
Right. So the point is, I think they're going to play pretty well. Again, our standards are pretty low around here these days with offensive line play. Doesn't take much for us to be impressed. Just stop giving up sacks every pass. Give a running back an opportunity to get to the line of scrimmage, and we've upgraded tremendously. But if you do that, by the way, I like my running backs. I like a renewed and focused Cam Akers. I like Kalon Laybourne in space. I really, really like my wide receivers. There's a depth of talent there that I think could wear down Boise and could be very effective when you get into the second half. That's a Boise team that struggled to cover on the back end last year.
Well, and if James can read, and that's what they've been working on, I think the open portion today was about 10, 15 minutes according to the beat reporters, but it looked like they were working on the read drills. You can scheme right at Weaver, not block him and say, okay, pick your poison because we're going to go the opposite direction and maybe scheme him out of the game a little bit.
Well, it's exactly what I would do. I mean, yeah. I think you got to. You got to go right at him and make him make decisions, and then that makes yours. This is that's the best part, the best aspect of that kind of an offense. Also, getting the ball out of your quarterback's hands very quickly is helpful.
Yes, yeah.
So I think
that means perimeter blocking comes at a premium.
Well, and that's a good point because we haven't talked much about it today or really leading up to this season. But one of the great disappointments of last year was how little some of the senior receivers and more experienced receivers that hadn't bought in decided that they, if the ball wasn't coming to them, they didn't really care to see their teammates succeed. Didn't care to do much.
Yeah, I think, and I'm just so glad we'll be able to break down games that don't include this particular player. I was never a huge fan because even the Michigan game, the Orange Bowl, there was a 2-play sequence that's emblematic of Nooney Murray's entire career.
Sure.
It's on the game-winning drive, the touchdown drive, and there's a throw to the flat where Nooney can make a block. He doesn't. His teammate gets destroyed in a way that should never happen. If you look at it maybe twice in a row, you get like viscerally angry about it. And then he responds with the corner out catch that we all know and love because
it won us the game.
It was the thing that won us the game after Keith Gavin decided somewhere between. And that's our kick returner. He and Keyshawn Heltner are our kick returners.
I'm really struggling with that, but okay.
Unless we go one deep and Gavin's going to be the escort service. I don't know why we would do that again. But, hey, listen, that was the sequence. That was who Nooney Murray was as a player. Hopefully we get greater consistency. I mean, if Gavin gets his hands on you on the perimeter, that should be something. Warren Thompson's got a mean streak to him. Jordan Young's a big player. You can get some tight ends out there. And Terry, if he has to, you want him catching the ball more than you want him blocking. But he's Scary Terry. He has to be Scary Terry for more than just the reason that he can run a 4.3 and jump through the roof of the gym.
And he showed up today with the mask on, a different mask this time around. So he's decided that he's going to wear that. I'm not real sure I'm in love with that before we play a game to come out and be that confident. Just, okay. Now, I will say that does run counter, and he is a unique talent. That does run counter to the stuff that Willie Taggart talked about at the kickoff luncheon. He's much more subdued this year. They're not doing the swag surfing. They're not doing a million different uniforms. They're doing two. You got your home uniform and then your road whites, white on white with the garnet trimming. That will be regal, my friend. Perfect. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I do too for 1 year. If we play well enough, do what you do. Be you. Like, if that's something that Willie wants to do it. Roll it out there.
Yeah,
the
but you
kids
got to
love
win
it.
games, and
Yes.
I think he gave too much of that program to the kids before they earned it.
Agreed.
And I think that's why he made the decision he did now, was I gave too much. I tried to win him over in a lot of ways. That was one of them.
Like, I get what he's doing. But if this defensive back class and guys like Dante Lucas and True Thompson, I mean, you see Amari Gaynor, these underclassmen, if they really take this thing by the horns, let them wear whatever the hell they want to wear next year. Go back to what we were doing before because these kids will have earned it, and it's good on the recruiting trail. I'm happy for this year, but I think that's overplayed a little bit.
I like it for this year. Also like those two options. I like the white on white. I think we look great.
Oh, it looked great. It will.
It looks spectacular. That's an aside. We really care more about how you play than how you look. I got you. But, for those of us that care about the uniform, and I think most of us do.
Well, we're getting the white numbers back next year, too.
Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Before we break, real quick, Tom, want to get this in just because I'm happy to talk often about my friends at Orange Theory Fitness, still working out there every week, still loving it. You get the energy of a group workout with the attention of a personal coach. I say that all the time. It's true. You also get the attention of the guys around you, guys and gals, I should say, everybody working hard. It's not one of those things where you have to be embarrassed. There's an intimidation factor some people feel about Orange Theory because they look in there and they see a large group working out and they say, I'm out of shape and everybody's going to see me be out of shape. No, man, it's not like that. I promise you. There are people in there that can run circles around me. There are people that are behind my fitness level, and everybody roots for each other. It doesn't really matter. You're too focused on yourself, first of all, and then secondly, you're like really happy when everybody's getting after it. And you look up at that screen and you see that the whole thing's lit up orange, that we're really maximizing our time in that gym together and being coached well. And they use science. It's the trifecta of science, as they say, with that heart monitor and that personalized coaching in a group situation. It is absolutely perfect. If you haven't used it yet, give it a try or go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men in a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Underwriting terms and conditions apply.
Wahoo Seafood Grill, Tallahassee's leader in fresh seafood, is located right behind the Best Western on North Monroe. Lunch specials start at $7.99. Be sure to try their award-winning house-made burger. Big lunch parties are also welcome. Wahoo Seafood Grill makes lunch specials a very affordable choice. Delivery is available and plenty of parking. Wahoo Seafood Grill. Easy access from any part of town using I-10. Visit them online at wahooseafoodgrill.com or call them today at 850-629-4059.
Pickens Tree Service has over 25 years of experience in cutting down trees and removing stumps in the Tallahassee area. While you may appreciate the beauty of foliage on your property, certain trees may pose a health risk to the owners. Pickens Tree Service will help you identify these potential issues and take preventative measures to remove the risk along with the tree. Just give them a call for a free estimate at 850-590-1833. That's 850-590-1833. Pickens Tree Service, Tallahassee, Thomasville, Quincy, Crawfordville, and surrounding areas.
Text Fan Cave to 66555 and enter to win an ultimate fan cave experience from Bud Light, an over $1,500 prize giveaway. Text Fan Cave to 66555 or visit trieaglesales.com. Must be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly. A message from local beverage distributor Tri-Eagle Sales.
Cornerstone Tool and Fastener and Makita welcome back football season. And to kick it off, we are bringing the best deals of the year. Buy a brushless premium Makita 5 amp hour kit, get an instant $50 gift rebate and your choice of another bare tool free. Plus, we are adding in another 5 amp battery for free. That's 3 batteries and 3 tools. Check out our specials on cordless blowers, chainsaws, compressors, and so much more. Cornerstone Tool and Fastener, 1110 Stuckey Ave in Tallahassee and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open Saturdays 8 a.m. to noon. Online at ctf.nu.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Hendrick. Get to the all-new Dale Earnhardt Jr. Chevrolet, a proud partner of the Hendrick Automotive Group. Shop the Hendrick Summer Sales Event all month. Find new roads in a 2019 Chevy Silverado 1500 truck, up to $15,000 off MSRP. Plus, get a 20-quart Orca cooler with the purchase of any new Chevy truck. New management, new buying experience, same Chevy. Come see us on Tennessee Street. Shop DaleJuniorChevy.com. Cooler valued at $199. Not all vehicles will qualify for maximum discount. Must finance with GM Financial plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and dealer admin charge. See dealer for details.
The Home Depot's making it easy to turn your favorite moment into the perfect color for any room with the Project Color app. Upload any image, then discover the colors and paint to match. Now you're a swipe and a click closer to everything you need for your next project. Explore the most popular colors and trending palettes to find your perfect paint. Get a colorful new experience with the Project Color app, then shop our best brands with gallons starting from just $24.98 at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only. See store for details.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents and Doug.
If I don't find the right car insurance for me, I might just give up.
Did someone just say, if I don't find the right car insurance for me, I might just give up? Ma'am, what if my partner, this wild emu, and I told you that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need?
I'd say sign me up for Liberty Mutual. And also, your emu is eating my tire.
Limu! No. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Equal housing insurer. State laws apply.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
They try at ESPN. What actually matters this NFL preseason? From AB to Jimmy G. Join our Bill Barnwell next to talk about the upcoming preseason game. Don't try anymore, gentlemen. Every coach in the league has decided none of this matters. And it's funny because it has swept the league by storm. Somewhere along the way in the last year or two, coaches decided to blatantly disrespect the NFL's upper brass in their wishes. You know, like they want this to be treated seriously. Everybody liked the idea because more money, 4 preseason games. Let's get that third one be the famous dress rehearsal. Let's build it up to something. No. I mean, if you're McVay and the Rams, you just basically double middle fingered the league. They don't care at all, like even a little bit.
Somewhere along the way, I think equates to the coaches' convention.
Yeah, they're like,
and they all got together. Guys,
this is ridiculous.
Come on. We could do this. Let's just barter for an extra bye week.
Yeah.
And let's do 18 games, 2 preseasons, and be done with it.
Well, and that's where they're going. And you know what? Good, because this is going to be the end. I bet this is the last preseason of 4 games. And I think at the very least next year you get 3 at most. They may just decide scrap it all to hell and let's go ahead and get these 2 preseason games. I don't know. We'll have to find out what kind of money and what kind of deal they can work out for the 18-game season. It can't all be about safety and then asking people to play 18 games, but we'll see. I'm not so sure that happens. But I do think regardless, they're going to cut the preseason to 2 games. And I'll tell you another reason why. Guys like Arians, McVay, you've heard countless others say it. Harbaugh's about the only one who cares deeply, as we've pointed out. But everybody else, basically, well, them and Cleveland, apparently, they play every game like it's the freaking Super Bowl in Cleveland. Which has made me dislike them already. But anyhow, that said, most of these guys, they're not blitzing, unlike Cleveland. They're not doing the things that we've seen teams who are trying to win games do. They're really vanilla, and they're quick to pull a starter, and they're really just going through the motions because they have to. I don't believe – when you hear Arians say, I find out what I need to know about my team at practice, well, we're done here. I mean, why play any of these games? I've already discovered what I needed to discover about our guys in practice. Oh, sure, I assess what they do in games, but I pretty well know by the way that we practice what I'm going to see and what I want to see from my starters, my backups. All of that is determined in camp.
Well, that and a joint practice, which they may make more of a spectacle of.
Right.
Maybe you could do like a Thursday night. It's the joint practice, and they give you the script of how things are going to go, not what each team calls. But then there's like a scoring system or something. I mean, NFL Network has worked with less and made more of it, right? But you could see where that might turn into something for them.
Yeah, they're going to have to because I don't think they're going to have the option of an actual game.
You know who's going to hate it, though? Is the local broadcast networks for each market that get to broadcast these preseason games, and they actually rate well. Yeah. Like those news affiliates?
Yeah, you're
all
right.
the local news affiliates get these things. They're the ones who are going to get screwed over this.
Let me ask you if you agree with this. We didn't spend a lot of time on it, and I wanted to segue away from making fun of the fact that they're trying to overhype preseason games on the ESPN site. But really, they do it at every site because they got to still have content before all these games get underway. And the aforementioned Barnwell mentioned in an article that I read that he believed Andrew Luck's retirement, his decision to move on from the league, was, I think the quote was, most shocking retirement in American pro sports since Michael Jordan left the NBA in 1993. Given the position, given the caliber of talent, comeback player of the year, Pro Bowler, all of those things, given what his first 7 years were in the league, now a lot of injuries there, that is fascinating. The different circumstances, you'd be inclined to say, and I think your answer might be Calvin Johnson.
No.
You could go back to Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders was the one that I remember just being absolutely floored by.
I think the difference, and maybe where Barnwell is correct here, is this is a 29-year-old quarterback, franchise quarterback, a week and a half before the season, 29 years old.
Well, yes, proximity to opening day and the fact that he's gone through training camp to a certain point, that's – I mean, it made this the rounds at Libations Fest, and people were like, no. And then next thing you know, you're watching Florida-Miami, and there it is, breaking news in the bottom line. And for those who weren't locked into their phones, they go, what? You could hear it. Everybody was reacting to that news and just they were going to their phones if they're fantasy football players saying, oh, my God, I've got to get this guy.
I got to move on, yeah.
I got to drop him.
I got to grab Jacoby freaking Brissett.
I got to go grab Nick Foles.
No, it's hurtful.
Damn it.
I thought this was interesting. Pro Football Reference's approximate value statistic. There have been 2 players in NFL history who have posted a better season in their final NFL campaign, total of 2, only 2, than the Indianapolis Colts quarterback and then retired by choice before the age of 30. Only 2 players have had better seasons than Andrew Luck just had, and then called it a day before turning 30. One is former Vikings running back Robert Smith, and that was shocking. I forgot about that. That's true. And then he went on to be a pompous ass of a commentator on TV for years. He ran for 1,521 yards at the age of 28 before deciding, yeah, this football thing is awfully tough on your body. I was once studying to be a doctor. I like my brain. I'm going to call it a day. And he was a really good student. So he was ahead of the curve.
That Vikings team was just loaded with hashtag a-holes, wasn't it?
Oh, boy, he was high on the list.
Holy cow.
The other player, not shockingly, was Jim Brown. No quarterback, and Jim Brown retired at 29, and everybody, my dad talks about that. Like, what in the world? Most dominant player in the league. Yeah, I'm good. Walking away. I got things I want to do. I'm going to go act it out in L.A. And did. And be an activist and everything else. So there was the Jim Brown situation as well. But no quarterback has made the Pro Bowl in a season during his 20s and then retired. You got to go all the way back to a guy who would have had a season like it, that if they had the same voting and all that stuff and same sort of award banquets. A guy named Johnny Luchek, he retired in 1952, was the closest thing to it. A guy having a great season that would have been considered Pro Bowl, in his 20s, deciding to walk away.
What was it like to watch him play?
You do that more these days. You get me more and more these days.
It's just because I'm feeling older myself.
I know. You project. It's okay. But here you go.
I see Fernando Tatis Jr. I see
like, what
little
is
Bichette.
this? Yeah.
Guerrero Jr.
Well, they're all out there. Soon their kids will be playing.
This
Then you're
hurts.
Like, what are we doing here? I saw his daddy's entire career. Yeah. I get it. We all do. We've hinted at this. You've seen it with other position players. You've seen it with linebackers. You've seen it with running backs. Those high-impact positions where they're not as protected as quarterbacks. That's the shocking aspect of this. I can absolutely see where a linebacker, like a Patrick Willis, Patrick Willis was a badass and was still a badass, but really hampered by injury.
Man, he and Navarro Bowman,
Woo!
They had the Bash brothers.
That was an evil defense, and they all walked away. It was crazy. San Francisco fans were going, what has happened here?
Yeah, Niners-Hawks was an amazing rivalry.
Brutal,
too.
My God. Brutal. Yeah, very, very...
Yes.
17-13. Hardcore. It reminded you of the Steelers-Ravens type stuff.
We had a decade there where you had 2 of those.
And you were allowed to hit people back then.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is, I always got it, or always thought that if a running back had made enough money, he should get out. If you were a linebacker, taking on the blocks, you made enough money, get out. Other positions, it's a little, let's go case-by-case scenario, because a lot of corners are just asked to cover, really don't come up in the run game and hit you, maybe not suffering too many concussions or anything like that, any brutal injuries. Then you stay in the league as long as you get your speed, as long as you can cover somebody. And you've seen a lot of guys do that. With quarterbacks, that's the reason this is shocking. The league has moved to a model that really doesn't allow you to hit quarterbacks very often. They get hit, but you can avoid it, and they're protecting you better than they've ever protected anybody. That's how Tom Brady can play into his 40s. It's certainly not pliability. It's that you're not allowed to touch him, especially him. You can't. So I figure that if you got injuries and you're able to fight through and you come back, again, every year that we move forward with these rule changes, it's better for you as a quarterback. You're going to be able to live to fight another day. But Andrew Luck has been hit, I think, 4th most of any quarterback in the league the last 7 years. And he has, unfortunately, for being a big, strong guy, and he is, and a great athlete, he's just suffered an uncanny number of injuries. And they've been pretty ugly injuries, too. They haven't been good ones, the kind that linger, the kind that really hurt and are tough to rehab from. Some of that's just dumb luck, bad luck. Some of that is body type, bone density, all these things that go into it. But I'll always say this, in the modern era, if you're going to make $20 million guaranteed in any one of your contracts, or $47 million guaranteed over the course of your first contract, or anything like that, the option to walk away is that much more enticing, especially every day you find yourself in rehab. So I say that to say this. Certainly I don't begrudge him. If you don't want to play football, don't play football. But also I would say, if you're in a lot of pain and you foresee a future where you're going to have a hard time walking, you're going to have a hard, you have things you want to do. This is a smart guy. I'm sure he wants to travel and do a lot of other things. I I can understand how more and more of these guys are, in fact, going to walk away. Most of the time, I don't think they'll be quarterbacks. Again, quarterbacks coming into the league now are awfully protected. But I get it. If you've made guaranteed millions, and that is the byproduct of these contracts now, more and more of them, larger percentages becoming guaranteed. I got a guaranteed $15 million in the bank. Yeah, I'd love my second contract. I'd also like to know my name when I'm 50. I'd also like to be able to walk and play with my kids. I'd like to be able to go on the beach with my wife and enjoy my weekend and not be popping pills constantly because I'm in agony. I don't know how anybody can't understand that. I don't know how anybody would begrudge that. I think it has to be that the people booing were hurt because of the proximity to the start of the season and the fact that they were projected to be a Super Bowl contender. I get it. I still wouldn't have booed him, but it hurts.
Yeah, but it's not as like shock jock kind of thing that you saw. It's so low hanging, the takes on that.
Yeah,
you people are like even Aaron Rodgers is like, this is disgusting. I'm like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
The news just freaking dropped. I'm not saying I would have. All I'm saying is...
Yeah, you're not a crazy fan, but there are crazy fans. And the thing of it is, yeah, I get it. They're hurt. It's not a good look for them to be booing the man.
I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying, can we stop with like the low-hanging fruit stuff there? I mean, if you want to pick on Gottlieb, go ahead for his dumbassery over the weekend.
Yeah, sure.
Because he had time to think about that, type it out, and actually hit send like a moron. And he does that often.
Yeah.
But just in this case, is it a good look? Hell no. It's stupid, but it never should have been broken while he was standing out there before everybody. That's just terrible.
We got unlucky there. That's a modern era. One guy says one thing to one wrong person, and it's everywhere. It spreads like wildfire. Yeah, I hate it for him. He's going to be fine. He's got a lot of money. He'll be okay. He's going to go on and live his life, and we all wish him well, I suppose.
I just am willing to wager that if
he comes back.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I actually think he will.
What, in a year or two?
About 2 years.
The Colts are tolling his contract. That if he wants to come back, it's them unless they trade his rights away.
I don't think he would try to screw them. I don't think this is a move to try to get out from under anything.
You saw they gave him the money, the money that they didn't have to give him, the $25 million or whatever it was.
But think about this: if you're him, you clearly didn't leave because you have any So, for example, Barry Sanders was frustrated. He was frustrated that Detroit refused to get him any help, and their offensive line didn't provide any help. And he was in his early 30s, and he just didn't see a way out. Detroit wasn't on the cusp of doing anything, and he was frustrated. The Colts have drafted better than anybody else in the National Football League the last 2 years. They are building a strong offensive line behind, my man.
Mm-hmm.
Quentin Nelson that was the best pick they could have had, but they brought a Pro Bowler in at linebacker in the same draft. They've been brilliant, and they gave him weapons. He can't be mad at management. I think he's literally tired of being in pain, tired of being tired of rehab. What happens 2 years from now when he feels great? When he's rehabbed and his body is healed and the rules are what they are where they protect quarterbacks and they give him a kind deal and say, come in, man, listen, you don't have to play in the preseason. We'll do this, this, and this. I'm telling you, that will be enticing because they'll make it enticing. That contract.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, with what the cap's going to do over the next couple of years and what you could offer him. And they obviously have a lot of cap room left, too. I think it's 50-some-odd million. They're number one in the league, obviously, with Andrew leaving. But I don't know that they're going to have many players graduate to a higher salary level that would see Luck unable to make, $30, $35 million upon return at minimum?
Right.
Plus, you could give him a signing bonus to return. My only contention was, I'll bet you, I'm willing to wager that if the timing wasn't the way it was and it broke overnight and Andrew Luck had a press conference and then the first time the fans saw him was after the press conference, they wouldn't have booed. They would have cheered. It just it was such the optics were so bad.
It's weird how people's
here's a
immediate
secret. He's going to quit
reaction
on. That's how they feel. It's a secret. He's going to quit, and he's standing out there. You got to be kidding me. That's where they were coming from. Are they right? No. Of course they're not.
I just find it odd how many people's immediate reaction is towards vitriol and anger. It's just. I mean, I know, I get it. It's the world we live in, but it's just weird. I mean, I'd be disappointed. You can be disappointed. I don't think it would bring me to boo somebody. I'd be like, well,
right,
I didn't want to play football.
But you would also say if the PR was kicking in, the PR firm, they need to get him off the field.
Oh, yes. I would have said this isn't good. News is starting to leak. People in the stands are beginning to get restless. They're worried that he's going to retire, which he is, guys. So let's get him the hell off the field.
Right.
Yeah. No, they could always handle these situations better. You don't want him out there under a cascade of boos. And the guy has played through a lot of injuries and played and worked hard to get back from injuries. I read one report that the frustration stemmed from the fact that he has had this horrible calf injury all offseason, and he has been rehabbing relentlessly to get it right. And it never got better. He never felt any better. He kept waking up in agony. They weren't making strides. He wasn't close to being able to play. And here they were about to start the season. So the announcement was either going to be, we don't know, which has got to be infinitely frustrating as well because he's had that happen before. Remember when he couldn't throw a regulation-sized football? And I was talking to you that one time like, it's not normal that my man is 13 months removed from surgery and he has yet to throw a pass. Mm-hmm. He's throwing a Nerf ball around and it's hurting him. Yeah. We were talking about that. Like, that's ridiculous. Well, for whatever reason, he has not been able to recover as quickly as some other guys do. That's just luck. Some of that is, and it's not a play on his name. That's just, some people really recover quickly from injury. Others, it takes a little while. It matters the, body type, body part, all of that. Body composition, he has had a hard time recovering from injuries, and this calf injury lingered, and I think the pain and the frustration and then the understanding that you're not responding to therapy. This is not responding the way we thought. Like, who knows when he was going to get back? He finally just said, this is my body telling me something.
Right, exactly, and he said, I can't commit to it. I can't do it. I can't. So isn't that what we all want? If you can't commit to it, get out of here because you're not serving anybody at that point.
Right. It is. Now, I will say, to your point, I do really feel for Colts fans. I can't. I mean, that's a toughie.
Now, here's the thing. I just got done saying, all right, are they in the wrong? Yes, but let's not go crazy. I'm not sorry for Colts fans. They've had the best quarterback luck, pun intended.
Okay, well, if you're talking about,
short of Green Bay, they've got the best.
I was going to say, you go Hall of Famer, yeah. Well, would have been.
He would have been.
Yeah, he would
have
been.
The back-to-back, and Green Bay was the same way. Ridiculous. It's been an embarrassment of riches. It's about time that we get this thing corrected a little bit. I can't wait for the Steelers
How's
to go
that
through
for a screw job, buddy? Yeah. Get you some of that. Yeah.
I don't want to see it this way, but, I mean, good God, living a charmed life. They had 1 2-win season. Poor Ernie Sims came down there thinking he'd go to the playoffs with Peyton Manning, and Peyton was unavailable for that year. They win 2 games just in time to get Andrew freaking Luck, who – you know what? We should have known he thinks differently early on. He was going to be the number 1 overall pick in the draft.
He said, went back to school.
I'll go back to school for 1 more year. That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Got to admit, having walked that campus at Stanford, it's tough to walk. Tough to walk away from that. That's a good deal, yeah.
But doesn't that tell you? It was almost like foreshadowing that years later he might make another decision that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to the football-loving world.
Speaking of which, kind of an underrated thought here in lucky to have it back-to-back with quarterbacks. San Diego slash Los Angeles. It went from Drew Brees to Phillip Rivers.
They told Drew Brees to get the hell out of there.
I know. But that's a hell of a run, too. Little Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers action is pretty damn good.
Well, and then the Saints have had Drew Brees for 30 years. And the Patriots have had Tom Brady for 40 years.
And the Dolphins could have had Drew Brees.
And Nick Saban would still be battling Bill Belichick head-to-head.
And we wouldn't be stuck with this Alabama nightmare on our hands. Damn it. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Renegades, and they've all arrived and are on the lot for immediate delivery. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude with MSRP starting at $25,120. On sale now for $18,870. That's a savings of $6,250. A new Jeep starting at only $18,870. Those prices are unheard of and can only be found at your Jeep headquarters of America, Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. No other dealer can offer you this kind of savings. We buy in mass quantities and pass along the savings to you. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude. food, starting at $18,870. Payments as low as $299 a month. On the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle, where we're right on the corner and always right on the price. Check us out on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. All prices include rebates and incentives plus tax, title, and dealer fees. State number 18J605. Must finance through Chrysler Capital and qualify for all rebates and incentives.
Hardee's new 2-3 More breakfast menu is as easy as a walk in the park. $2 gets you a pair of cinnamon and raisin biscuits or a savory sausage biscuit. $3 gets you a tasty bacon, egg, and cheese on a made-from-scratch biscuit. And $4 gets you a hearty breakfast platter loaded with sausage and other breakfast classics. In fact, the new 2-3 More menu may even be simpler than a walk in the park. It's more like a walk in an airport, where they have those sidewalks that move for you. Pilots have it made. The new Hardee's 2-3 More menu. Offer available for a limited time during regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included.
AAA Tree Experts has been a Tallahassee staple for over 35 years. But did you know they now offer landscaping? AAA landscaping services include custom outdoor landscape, creative landscape design and architecture, hardscapes, waterscapes, retention walls, and French drains, irrigation and sodding, landscape and holiday lighting. Call them today for all your outdoor landscaping needs. 850-385-3319 or visit them online at AAATreeExperts.net. AAA Tree Experts and Landscaping.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachian Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
The Jeff Cameron Show podcast, available on demand at ESPNTallahassee.com and on iTunes today. The Jeff Cameron Show podcast is brought to you by Garnet and Gold of Tallahassee. When you buy FSU apparel, support local business. GarnetandGold.com.
Tuesdays are the worst. They're all that stands between you and the downhill part of the week. But now they're a lot less worse, because Wing Tuesdays at B-Dubs are buy one, get one free traditional wings. So Monday, you may kick off the week. Wednesday, you may have a cool nickname. Thursday, you might be the almost weekend. But watch your back, because Tuesdays just officially became Wing Tuesdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Buy one traditional wings order and get one of equal value free. Participation and promotional details vary by location. Check in with your favorite Buffalo Wild Wings to learn more about this offer.
Not every law firm is the same. For example, you don't hire a divorce attorney to handle a foreclosure. The same goes for your insurance claim. Hire a firm that has the knowledge and experience in handling insurance matters. The Morgan Law Group is dedicated solely to this cause, fighting insurance claims that are underpaid, delayed, or denied. With offices throughout Florida, the Morgan Law Group covers claims for all hurricanes, storms, mold, fires, boats, and even sinkholes. Representing the policyholder, going after the insurance companies. The Morgan Law Group. Offices Miami, Orlando, Naples, and Panama City. Online at policyadvocate.com.
Not an employee or member of law firm.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
So here's the deal. We're getting used to the new normal, all of us here. During the football season, for the most part, when we can, and it's almost always, we double dip on Tuesdays. It's good stuff. We do 2 hours of the JCS along with 2 hours of headlines. Now, in the summertime, we just let headlines mostly take over and go 3 to 5, 5 to 7. There's not that much content to be had. But I tell you this today because this is the start of the new norm here. We did 2 hours, and now we're about to turn it over and let Seminole headlines take over. And then right after that, it's Braves baseball, which is you're all set. So you get a lot. Probably too much of me, but a lot of stuff, a lot of content. That's a good thing.
Well, and a lot of good sponsors, too. Capital City Bank sponsors Seminole Headlines during football season. The first hour is brought to you by Spirit, the headliner questions, Heather Birch Orthodontics, and the
Morgan Law Group.
The podcast is the Morgan Law Group, man.
A lot of good people, man.
Loaded up for Seminole Headlines.
It's good. It's good. Loaded up across the board. I think everybody's ready to go, man. Everybody is. I just got done earlier today doing the War Chant report for video, television, if you will, and I think we're all just eager. There's so much of, I think this is going to happen. I wonder what this is going to happen. But then with this weather now, you just don't know. I'm seeing so many differing reports, Tom. We got the one that says it's going to be smack dab upon us at 8 o'clock that night. And there's another one that says it's going to be hitting Daytona Sunday morning at like 7.
Well, it's the same thing. It's just the center of the storm, obviously, being in Daytona at that point. But the winds could arrive well before, the heart of the eye of the storm, I should say. That's the hard part here. Even the 2 p.m. Atlantic update, it said that the earliest reasonable time for winds to arrive in the Jacksonville area would be, noonish on Saturday. But that's like the 10% chance. The 50-50 chance has it just to the south and east at 8 p.m. But you've got a post game. You've got, going back to the hotel that night. You got charter planes leaving for both football teams. There's a lot to consider, a ton to chew on.
Yeah, and I know they had meetings about it today, so we'll see. Maybe there will be an announcement later on tonight. We'll find out. If it's dated, we'll get back to it tomorrow. But I am curious to see if they decide to move the game up a few hours even. I mean, that seemed the most reasonable thing to do would be instead of playing at 7 p.m., maybe playing at 3 or noon. Something like that. It beats the hell out of not having a game. That's the big thing. Got to have the game. Let's do some probable, shall we? Fire away.
It's time for... How you say, with the pitching, probables?
Before I get to that, yeah, I understand people's safety is of greater concern than a game, but this is a tropical storm, and B, you've got enough information in advance to make sound decisions to keep everybody safe, but also get the game in. You got to get the game in.
Yeah, if I had to guess, and I looked at the bye week schedules, and there are no matches, even though this is a 2 bye week year. FSU and Boise State are off by 1 week 2 times.
Yeah.
But if I had to guess, I'd say they're going to look at how it hits Hispaniola and if it dissipates or if it continues on the path, and that might impact the kickoff time.
Those poor bastards. Steady breaking up storms for the rest of us. Brutal. Best of luck to all of them. Pirates, Phillies, Stephen Brault, Drew Smiley. Pirates gave it a go, put a scare in Director Matthew last night, but alas, the Phillies win in extras. Orioles, Nats, Aaron Brooks, Patrick Corbin. Braves, Jays, Mike Soroka to be determined for the Blue Jays. You can hear that game here on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
I'm going to go dig this up. I saw this earlier today. Numbers on Soroka, his slider, when he throws it, and the numbers on it, they're absurd.
By the way, he's tied with Max Scherzer for MLB's second best ERA. 2.34 over his last 5 starts, too. He's really good. Reds, Marlins, Luis Castillo and Caleb Smith in a game nobody should ever be forced to watch. Cleveland and the Tigers will take each other on. Adam Plutko and Spencer Turnbull. Cubs, Mets. All right, let's get it together, Mets. Let's go, Mets. Yu Darvish goes for the Cubs. Marcus Stroman going for the Mets.
Stroman coming off of a tight hamstring. They're going to be watching him very closely tonight. This is a desperate Cubs team. I don't know. This is a big week for the Mets.
You're hosting, though. The Cubs struggle to win anything on the road. They do all their damage at home.
We need the bats to come to life. They are certainly not coming to life against Soroka's 480 sliders. He's thrown 480 of them this year. 13 hits allowed, a 161 slugging percentage, and no home runs.
My man's got a slider is what you're telling me.
Everybody throws a Frisbee once in a while.
Cardinals, Brewers, Miles Mikolas.
Yes.
Adrian Hauser. Rays, Astros. I really like this matchup whenever it's Charlie Morton versus another dominant former Pirate pitcher. That's the better matchup where I get to sit around and just think about what could be. But it's not that. Instead, it's Morton versus Verlander.
Morton.
He's had another fine campaign. 52 years old out here throwing 98. Justin Verlander, also 52 years old, out here throwing 98. Unbelievable. Twins, White Sox, Michael Pineda Lucas Giolito. We got the A's and the Royals. Mike Fars against Mike Montgomery. So last night I was struggling to sleep. I had one of those insomniac attacks, and I said, screw it. Got it. First time I woke up, it was 1. Next time I woke up, it was 3. And I said, I'm going to get up at 3 o'clock. And what's the Russell Crowe movie where he's the sea captain, the one where he's out in the ocean?
Master and the Commander?
Yes.
I've yet to see that. I hear it's good.
Kicks ass.
Does it?
Yeah. Stayed up, watched the whole thing.
It's a good thing you didn't have anything to do today. Good thing you weren't busy today.
Unbelievable. I just wanted to get the day started with a little Master and Commander.
For
3
that
o'clock
ass.
in the morning for that ass. There you go. Yeah, nothing better. I should have called Matthew. I bet he was up. Anyhow, did I give you that game? Yeah, Mike Montgomery.
That's an affirmative from Director Matthew.
I could have texted him. I was wide awake, buddy. Red Sox, Rockies, Rick Porcello, and the Rockies are to be determined. D-backs, Giants, Mike Leake, Jeff Samardzija. Samardzija's had a pretty good year. Rangers, Angels, Mike Minor, Andrew Haney. Yankees, Mariners, Masahiro Tanaka, and Yusi Kikuchi. Dodgers, Padres, Walker Buehler.
Trapper Keeper.
Cal Quantrill. That's your matchup, and that's a look at those that shall reside on the bump. There you go. There you go. Got that pretty well there. Tired, but I made it happen.
You hear me belting this, I'll record it for my bathroom recordings. I get it.
The echo.
Oh, the echo.
Anyhow, that said, we do have Braves baseball, but first, Seminole headlines. I'll turn it over there. We've got great questions and a fun topic, of course, which is game week, what we think is going to play out. That's all coming up next. Good work out of you, Tom. Good work out of you, Director Matthew. Thanks to all of you who listened. Continue to listen. There's more goodness on the way. We'll talk to you tomorrow.